What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're going to be checking out a number of upcoming changes that will have a major impact towards the PvE meta in Destiny 2. To go along with the Rite of the 9 event, Tuesday's reset will include a sizable update titled 8.2.6. This will bring updates to several abilities, exotics, and weapons, both in the Crucible and in PvE. So let's dig in and see how the meta in Destiny will be changing, and we start by checking out how the Crucible sandbox will be affected. Scatter grenades will have their damage reduced by a whopping 15%, but that's only when it comes to Crucible. Hunter's on the prowl aspect was just a tad bit overpowered, so it's getting its hunt time reduced down to 15 seconds, and its range is getting reduced down to 20 meters. On a global scale, this aspect will now generate its ability energy in one single burst, instead of over time, and the prey finding cooldown will be reduced by 0.4 seconds. Prismatic super cooldowns take way too long, so Bungie's reducing the cooldown penalty by 5%. Warlock's Lightning Surge felt super inconsistent, so Bungie will be rebalancing the damage spectrum to bring the minimum damage up while dropping the maximum damage down, and on a global scale, this ability will gain an increase to its follow-up suppression time, with the intent of it matching Titan's Shoulder Charge. Hunter's Withering Blade will gain a 10% increase in damage, and that will apply to both Crucible and PvE, and Withering Blades will be much more consistent, with a 20% increase in tracking strength. Hunter's Throwing Knives will be receiving similar treatment to be able to improve their tracking capabilities. There's quite a few weapon archetypes that are getting adjusted, which will affect the overall sandbox, and one of the biggest changes will affect Legacy Frame Pulse Rifles, which means the Redrix and Battler. Their ADS damage falloff will be tampered back to match heavy impact pulse rifles, and the BXR Battler will gain 11 points of airborne effectiveness. Rapid Fire Pulse Rifles will gain a 0.5% increase to base damage and a 0.2% increase in precision damage. This doesn't sound like a very big change, but it's going to bring the performance of those pulse rifles more in line with lightweight framed pulse rifles. Heavy Burst Hand Cannons will gain a very slight increase to their ADS damage, changing its damage falloff scaling from a 1.5 multiplier to a 1.6, which should help weapons like Bold Ending, Unloved, and Warden's Law be much more viable options. The Judgment will be getting its own updates to bring it more in line with other adaptive framed hand cannons. Its base magazine size will be increased by 2. It'll gain a 5-point increase to reload speed and 13 points of additional handling. High impact auto rifles will be getting a 4% increase to their base damage, increasing their base body shot damage to 24 and precision damage to 43.2, so it's going to be a good time to bring out the Abyss Defiant, Age-Old Bond, or even the Come to Pass. Precision framed auto rifles will gain a 3% increase in base damage, but its precision damage will be scaled down slightly to be able to offset the overall increase. Body shot damage will go up to 20, with precision damage going to 34, and there's a lot of powerful options within this archetype, including the Prosecutor, the Breakneck, and the Shadow Price. Adaptive SMGs will receive some slight improvements to their effective range. This weapon type will see its damage falloff multiplier increase to 1.5, which will improve the performance of SMGs like the Mirror Imagu, the Parabellum, and Hero's Burden. Heavy burst shotguns like the Arcane Embrace will gain an 8% increase in overall damage to bring their effectiveness more in line with normal slug shotguns. A few weapon perks are getting adjustments with this update. One Quiet Moment will now provide a stacking buff, with the maximum benefits getting applied after 3 seconds. Alaricity will now provide reduced benefits when only one teammate is down, but this will provide the maximum benefits whenever 2 or more teammates are down. We've got a few exotic weapons getting adjusted with this update. To no surprise, the Lord of Wolves is receiving a massive nerf, dropping its hipfire damage down by 30%. It was definitely fun while it lasted, but the days of using this for optimal damage are over. The Risk Runner is going to receive the same adjustments as adaptive framed SMGs, which means it'll get some slight improvements to its damage falloff, but it's also going to have increased zoom range. The Two-Tailed Fox will now receive 1 additional round of ammo whenever picking up ammo crates in the Crucible, and according to Bungie, there's 2 other exotic rocket launchers that are receiving the same treatment. The Elithinum grenade launcher will see improvements towards special ammo creation. Creating a special ammo brick will now cost only 50% of your alchemy energy, allowing you to create those bricks much more often. Finality's Auger will get a number of adjustments. It's getting a 10% increase in turret damage and a significant reduction to self-damage. Whenever creating a turret, you will now have your magazine reloaded from reserves, and when painting targets, the marker will last longer, matching the duration of the turret, and this will now mark additional enemies that enter into the targeted area. So it's safe to say that the Finality's Auger is going to be a hot item come Tuesday. We've got a few additional changes coming to exotic armor pieces, and a big nerf is coming to the Radiant Dance Machines, which have been a problematic exotic for hunters to use, as its performance is quite different with mouse and keyboard as it is with controller. To strike a balance between the two, Bungie will be reducing the hipfire bonus to primary weapons, reducing their accuracy bonus by 60%, and the aim assist fall off by another 60%. Exotic weapons including the last word will receive an additional 25% reduction, and when used in the Crucible, this exotic will now refund 13% less class ability energy whenever defeating another player. Bungie plans on sharing the benefits of the Radiant Dance Machines with Warlocks and Titans. This way Hunters won't be the only class that gets hipfire benefits. The Lion Rampants will now receive increased hipfire accuracy and range for primary weapons, and this benefit will always be active. And the Lunafactions will gain increased hipfire accuracy and range whenever using primary weapons. And just like the Lion Rampants, these benefits will always be active. But the Lunafactions will also receive a 50% reduction to weapon range whenever standing inside an empowering rift. But that change is only going to apply to this exotic's performance within the Crucible. To go along with all the new sandbox changes, Bungie will be adding 3 new weapons whenever Rite of the 9 launches. Iron Banner will now feature a solar lightweight framed scout rifle called Nature Reclaimed. Trials of Osiris will now have the Inquisitor precision slug shotgun, and Nightfall will get the Cruel Mercy, a heavy burst pulse rifle. It's too early to tell how big of an impact that these weapons will make, but as they release we'll be covering the best possible perk combinations that you'll need to keep an eye out for. But for now, that's all the information that we have on the upcoming changes that will take place with this week's reset, so be sure you're prepared when Tuesday gets here. With that said, I wish you all the best of luck throughout your journey. Thank you as always for checking out the video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated and both really do help support the channel. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.